This one, well, I'm getting kind of ranty about this, so Cheebert, you're going to have to hold me back. You've probably heard about this. The hacking team got hacked. That's that group in Italy that sold questionable security software. Now, the hacking team is that private company that sold remote control services, which are essentially rats. They were Trojans, remote access Trojans, that allowed agencies, organizations, governments, people with bad intent to get on your computer and take over everything. They could see what you're typing on screen. They could find your passwords. They could turn on your camera. They could turn on your microphone. Essentially, they had complete control over an infected system. Now, it's malware. Let's just call it what it is. It's malware that would infect your system and, well, got information on people that governments, agencies, organizations, people with bad intent shouldn't have. The hackers, as we know, got hacked. Their Twitter account was hijacked, and someone posted in a tweet, and I like this part, in their name saying that they wanted to come clean, and they gave a link to 400 gigabytes of data that was exfiltrated from the hacking team's network. In that data was the complete source code for their security software, which essentially puts the company out of business because who's going to pay for software they can get for free, and also their customer list. This was the more damning information. It included some of the most repressive, irresponsible governments and agencies on the planet, including the FBI, which had spent $800,000 with the hacking team since 2011. This is a case of hacker vigilantism, and, well, it's hard to have sympathy for the hacking team because someone essentially did to them what they've been doing to everybody for years. But that's not the biggest part of the story. That part we all know. That part was all the great karma that happened in the media. I think that the most interesting part of the story is what's happening afterwards. Hacking teams not just silently going away. They've been defending themselves on Twitter, in the social media circles, and in the media, basically saying, look, we're not the bad guys here. We didn't do anything that any other security company wouldn't do. We were getting paid for consulting, and, well, some of those governments you call repressive, we could call freedom fighters. Hey, it's all relative. However, out of that data dump, which, by the way, you can find on WikiLeaks. Go ahead, Zach, if you have got that link. WikiLeaks put the entire leak up on their search engine, so you can search through the over 1 million leaked emails from Hacking Team, and it's interesting to see what comes up, although you're probably going to have to use Google Translate on most of those. Among some of the hits that I was able to peruse last night, Hacking Team worked as digital mercenaries for the governments of Ethiopia and Sudan. They were even caught in emails dismissing civil rights and human rights violations, essentially saying, well, we're not doing it, we're just giving them instructions on how to do it. They also joked about collecting bitcoins to put a hit on an ACLU activist who was giving them bad press, and my personal favorite, they were actively using a zero-day flash exploit. Now, Cheebert, let me throw this over to you. It's one thing for a security company to get caught with its pants down. That's happening more and more. People get hacked, and especially if you are proclaiming yourselves to be paragons of security, when your security turns out to be lax, it's funny and it's karmic. But what's happening to Hacking Team brings up in my mind the bigger question of what should we expect out of our security companies. There are so many companies that sell security appliances, and I'm not talking about those that are selling what is obviously black hat software. This is black hat software. But you've got large manufacturers, HP, Dell, Gigamon, go down the line, who sell equipment that could be used in a horrible way to violate civil and human rights. Is there a responsibility for them to, I don't know, take a look at who they're actually selling the hardware to? Or do they take the tack of Hacking Team and say, we're just selling something, it's not our fault that someone uses it for bad purposes?
Well, first off, to Hacking Team, ha, 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 nanny, nanny, boo, boo.
Okay, thank you. We got the Tosh.0 view out there.
Yeah, but anyway, no, the argument really is guns don't kill people, people kill people. And that's what a lot of people are saying about different tools. And as far as, you know, the large manufacturers that have tools that could technically be used in bad ways, that's one of the reasons why the United States has ITAR restrictions, so that, you know, certain key technologies don't get exported. I'm not wild. You know, I think this whole black hat thing is terrible. I don't like it. And, you know, if someone's claiming they're a black hat, I will spew at them. But reality is there's an awful lot of things that need to happen. And one of the things is people like Hacker Team, you know, you got to stop spending money on them. You know, they companies like that shouldn't exist. And, you know, I can rant forever. So you need to hold me back on that. But the reality is, you know, it's almost in the thing of why should someone with, you know, a civilian have access to a 50 caliber machine gun? It's fun, but what happens? You know, you can go back and forth. I'm sure I'm going to get spammed and, you know, blasted for this, but these tools shouldn't even exist.